Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar on how NDR can contribute to visibility and security in the cloud. This webinar will be presented by Youssef Agharmine. Let me introduce Youssef. Youssef joined Corelight in September 2023 and is a pre-sale engineer for Southern Europe. He has been working in the field of cybersecurity for around 20 years and has worked for publishers such as, or vendors such as Palo Alto, ExtraOpen, or Skybox. Youssef holds an engineering degree from the University of Toulouse, specializing in security, telecom, and network. Youssef, the stage is yours now. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Verani, for this introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Youssef Agharmine. I am a sales security engineer working for Corelight, and today I'm going to address how network detection and response can help to improve visibility and security in the cloud. So first of all, let me start with the agenda I've prepared for you. All right. So I'm going to start our agenda with a quick introduction to the cloud. Then I will explore the key challenges you may face in cloud security. And of course, I will address how Corelight improves the security in the cloud. I will dive into the implementation of Corelight network detection and response and explain how it works. And finally, I will wrap up our session with a takeaway. So, why cloud security is important? And first of all, cloud can be a huge advantage for a company. It really helps to be more agile, more flexible from a business point of view. With cloud solution company can now grow quickly as needed, so they can launch new services, keeping them competitive. One major benefit of the cloud is cost savings. Company now don't need to invest heavily in physical infrastructure. With a pay-as-you-go model, company can just pay for what they need and saving something like 30% of IT costs. So data and application can now be accessed very easily thanks to the cloud. You can access to the data anytime from anywhere, which really helps team, especially from remote teams. But now, this great benefit comes with a few interesting challenges that require strong security cloud solution. Cloud system can be complex, which often lead to, for example, to configuration error. And this is a very common security risk into the cloud. So a good cloud system management is absolutely needed to prevent unauthorized access or data breaches, for instance. So what we are seeing is more and more adoption on the cloud, and there is some estimation that says by 2025, 80% of enterprises will adopt a cloud-first strategy. So, what are the key challenges in the cloud security? Let me just give you a quick story of a financial services company that recently, unfortunately, experienced a security incident due just to a misconfiguration on their Amazon cloud setup, and they left sensitive customer data exposed, unfortunately. So, so whether you are using a Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure, the following challenges are important to manage. First of all, you will find a challenge on visibility. As we switch from a static on-prem design to a cloud solution, it's like trying to watch and observe everything in a constant changing environment. In a cloud environment, you can spin and destroy a VM in a minute. So without a good visibility, malicious activity such as DNS tunneling or exfiltration can be challenging to see and detect. The second point here is about control and access to logs that can be limited in the cloud solution. And when you compare the on-prem infrastructure, where you can monitor traffic between devices, in the cloud environment, a malicious activity between two instances may be challenging to detect. This limitation can make it more difficult to analyze security events and detect anomalies. So visibility on devices and endpoints can be very limited as well, especially if device management policies are not well integrated with the cloud solution. On the other hand, in an on-prem infrastructure, it's easier to know which devices are connected to your network. These are just few challenges that are listed here, but we can also mention the toolings. There are too many tools, and managing all of them can be very difficult. So, NDR solution should integrate smoothly with existing system and reducing complexity, and of course, improving threat detection and response efficiently. And my last point here is, like I mentioned in the beginning, is misconfiguration. Setting up cloud devices and services can be tricky, and mistake can lead to security risk. So now, even if an NDR solution may not be directly fixed configuration, they can detect unusual network behavior that might indicate a misconfiguration or security issue. You are responsible for your security, and especially of your data. So this is why it is crucial to clearly understand the shared responsibility model. It shows here what the cloud provider and the customer are each responsible for. And this is help both sides understand their roles in keeping the cloud safe. For example, the cloud provider is responsible to secure the cloud infrastructure, such as data centers, networks. From the other hand, the customer is responsible for the security of their own data and application in the cloud. And this includes, for example, managing access, setting up security settings, and monitoring for threat and prevent unauthorized access and breaches. So this slide is very important to me because here it stresses the fact that the customer has a very big role in the cloud infrastructure in terms of security. And this is why our customers are implementing Corelight network detection NDR in the cloud. As the security becomes more advanced, organizations must constantly monitor and react quickly, focusing on user management, like application logs, and of course network traffic, which we are focusing today. Advanced solutions like Corelight can really help improving network visibility, detect cloud-specific threats for better protection of data for which the customer is responsible for. So now let's have a look how Corelight enhances cloud security. And Corelight is offering a consistent network data, first of all. It extracts detailed network metadata within the cloud to help you understanding network traffic and to identify security issues. For example, by using Zeek, Corelight can, for instance, detect the type of traffic in the cloud, see who is communicating to who, which kind of application, how much traffic, etc., etc. And for example, it can detect traffic like SSH session and determine if they are interactive or manual sessions and detect an anomaly here, for example. So Corelight can identify threats on the cloud by leveraging solutions like Zeek, Suricata, which is very popular IDS signature based. We have as well machine learning that really help us, for example, detecting DNS tunneling for command and control or data exfiltration. So by monitoring network traffic, Corelight alerts security teams for potential threats, providing the context needed to assess alerts. As an open NDR solution, Corelight integrates various open source tools into a comprehensive network visibility stack, simplifying security management. And I think this is essential in a cloud environment where too many tools can make things really more complicated and can make complicate threat detection and response. So what Corelight does here is it really boosts current security tools by providing additional data. In fact, we are not looking to send you more data. but we are looking to send more interesting data, I should say. And the goal is really to improve detection and response capability. It generates details, network metadata, allowing security team to use their existing tools more effectively. This really helps team building a strong detection and response strategy in the cloud. Corelight is really enhancing cloud security by offering consistent network data, detecting cloud-specific threats, simplifying security operation, and improving existing tools. So there are many aspects to take into account when securing the cloud as NDR works in a different environment. For on-prem, for example, on-prem environment, we can use span mirroring for small companies equipped with managed switches, for example, or that have link aggregator like cPacket, Gigamon, or Keysight for a large company. So, and this is absolutely great for details monitoring in a fixed setup, but it needs regular maintenance and doesn't easily adapt to changes. When it comes to cloud, it's really more dynamic and more flexible. We will use, for example, virtual tabs for Amazon and Google that have respectively the ability to mirror VM traffic. When it comes to Azure, it requires, at this moment for now, a third party to be able to capture the traffic. So this seems very obvious, but need to be clarified. Given the fact that we are mirroring network traffic at the VM level on the cloud versus switches or on the aggregator on-prem, what do we call east-west traffic and north-south traffic on the cloud? So let's start with the east-west traffic. East-west traffic includes, for example, data moving between things like a VM machine, EC2 instances on AWS as an example. We can think about containers as well, or databases inside the virtual VPC, virtual private cloud. For example, data going between an EC2 instance and a database like RDS in the same region is considered like east-west traffic. So you can think of it like different parts of a machine working together. When it comes to north-south traffic, it's really about data going in and out of the cloud. So it includes user accessing a website, for example, on EC2 instance from the internet, or EC2 instances accessing external services. It also covers data transfer to and from S3 buckets, for example. East-west traffic is important because it really helps us to see what's happening inside the cloud, like spotting either problem or attack within a VPC. To keep things safe, we need to monitor both type of traffic. And as an example, on Amazon, it offers a tool called VPC traffic monitoring, and it's very interesting because it will let us copy and analyze network traffic from EC2 instances, helping us monitoring both east-west and north-south traffic. So let's see how now we can build network visibility and detection stack in the cloud. So we have discussed the challenges for cloud security and how Corelight solution can help. Now let's focus on putting that into practice by building a network visibility stack for cloud. So as we discussed, in the cloud, things change very quickly, very rapidly. New services and instances come and go. So a visibility stack helps us in keeping track of these changes, ensuring we don't miss any security event, no matter how fast things move. So a practical step is to use tools like Zeek, which is embedded in Corelight, to run network data into meaningful insight. It isn't just about having data here, but really having the right data to help us understand what's happening in real time. And by leverage cloud native tools like Amazon Traffic Mirroring or GPC Packet Mirroring, these tools are designed to work seamlessly with cloud environment, giving us a full visibility without adding complexity. And by integrating this existing tool, it creates a well-designed visibility stack that really improve our current security tools. So, and it makes them more effective as well, of course. And we can see that as acting as a backbone that support quick detection and response to threats. So let's discuss about the Corelight architecture now. So we can see that at the core level here, we can see different kind of sensor. We have, of course, sensor for the cloud. We have a sensor running as an application. We have physical sensor that can go up to 100 gigabytes. And when we think about cloud sensor, they are natively received traffic from Amazon and from GPC. For Azure, it's a little bit different. Where native data collection isn't available, we recommend leveraging C packets, for example, or Gigamon or Keysight to boot PCAP. Once raw traffic is collected, then what Corelight does, it utilizes a Zeek module to extract metadata, and we use detection mechanism like Notice, which is Zeek. We use Suricata, and on top of that, we are using machine learning as well to detect threats. So, although Corelight doesn't decrypt encrypted traffic, it can detect attack across various encrypted protocol using a very nice feature which is called encrypted traffic collection, and it allows us to do the analysis of SSH, for example, or the PTLS and VPN. And if needed, if necessary, integration with a traffic decryption solution is also possible. So when the detection is done, the sensor has the ability to send metadata and detection to any kind of data lake such as Splunk, Elastic, or Investigator. And Investigator will use some other mechanism like machine learning, which is very powerful, and will help as well in terms of workflow investigation. Additional features include file extraction for sandboxing analysis and smart PK functionality as well, which is very interesting because we can select exactly what we would like to store as a PCAP, and this really enhances the necessary visibility in cloud environment. So another thing is threat intelligence, which is a key component as well. And with Corelight, we are offering a seamless integration with platforms like OpenCTI, MISP, etc. And my last point here is the fact that Corlight's architecture allows users to create specific rules tailored to their cloud environment as well. So now let's have a look to how to deploy Corelight network detection and response. As we have observed, the cloud offers flexibility compared to traditional and rigid environments. So to support this flexibility, Corelight allows for sensor deployment through various methods, including infrastructure as a code tools like AWS CloudFormation or Terraform. These tools automate the setup and configuration of resources, streamlining the deployment of Corelight sensor in the cloud for a seamless experience. So another key point to have in mind as well is where the cloud, where IP addresses often change, Corelight enrich data logs in with host information to pinpoint which device held a specific IP address at any given time. So this automatic integration of host data, it really eliminates the need for complexity query to track device activity. Uh, and with the expansion of the cloud services, Corelight's application identification feature is very interesting because it reveals which services are in use, such Amazon S3, for example, or Google Cloud Storage, identifying not only databases but also other cloud tools for comprehensive insight. As you probably know, the cloud also introduced a new attack landscape, which is why Corelight provides new detection for some very specific threat like data exfiltration or service enumeration. So let's talk now about my favorite topics, which is visibility into containers. First, let's talk about our automatic and scalable monitoring system. It is really designed to grow with you, efficiently collecting and analyzing data without extra effort. Even as you container traffic increases. Next, our solution offers dynamic detection. So it automatically identifies new container and redirects this traffic to a sensor, providing you with real-time insight into network activity. Another highlight is our compatibility with Kubernetes. Our solution integrates seamlessly with almost any Kubernetes environment, and it gives you flexibility and the adaptability to fit your existing infrastructure. So our capability to provide visibility into containers is a real advantage when you look to the market. For those who are interested to deploy Corelight sensor on the cloud, you can find scripts helping you to automate the installation of Corelight sensor on GPC, Azure, and Amazon as well. So you can find directly those different scripts on GitHub. So this slide is very interesting as well because we do not only collect traffic, but we do some enrichment. So what this slide about, it's really here. If you look to the left, Corelight is showing a tool that play a crucial role in identifying application running on your network, on your environment, and which is very important to understand which type of traffic and which kind of interaction are happening in the network. So this capability will help you to spot, for example, to find a non-authorized application that could pose security risks. So additionally, Corelight, we do some enrichment, host data by providing security team with a detailed view of network activity for each host. And this is interesting because it adds context to work data and it really make it easier to identify anomaly and potential threats. And from a security perspective, Corelight is highly effective at detecting attempts or steal data, for example, which is a very big problem, and especially in cloud environments. So by analyzing network traffic pattern, for example, Corelight can pinpoint unusual data transfers that might indicate data exfiltration. We had some finding when it comes to DNS tunneling, where we see attackers often use DNS tunneling to bypass security or to steal some data, and Corelight really detects this activity by looking to DNS traffic patterns and to identify anomalies and ensuring effective monitoring against such threats. DG attacks as well are interesting to be detected because those require spotting suspicious domain name patterns. So Corelight analyzes DNS query logs to find domain likely created by DGA that give to the security team a very good insight. So this is my last slide. As a wrap up here, my four key points here as a takeaway. First one is visibility. And Zik here is playing a very big role. And another thing is data enrichment. So in the cloud, having a clear view of your network is essential. And like we saw, Corelight use Zik and enrich data to help you to quickly spot and to address potential threats. The other point is to be able to do an easy deployment with seamless integration. And it's important because cloud environment require agility. And what Corelight does here, it integrates smoothly with your existing systems, making it very easy, to enhance security without added complexity. And the third point will be proactive threat management. Cloud security threats like DNS tunneling requires proactive measure. Corelight will help you to detect as well and respond to the threats, keeping your data safe. My last point will be managing security across multi-cloud provider. The reason it can be very complex due to different login and monitoring capabilities. But what Corelight here does, it really aims to provide a unified approach to network detection and response making it easier to correlate data and detect threats regardless of the cloud provider. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this session was very interesting for you. Please, if you have any question, just feel free to email us. Thank you very much.